Welcome to day 8,999 of the game development vlog, whatever the hell these are called, devlogs. It's actually only been, 200-ish days. But much has been done this month, despite it being
incredibly frustrating
and long at times. Let's see here. The main thing I am most proud of for the month is there is a boost system. It needs a little bit of tweaking and polishing, but it is working. Now that's the part that really needs the polishing, is I have to kind of redo a little bit of which animation plays, because sometimes it doesn't play the right one, although it's being pretty good right now. So you can go in like that. Should have been the left one, but you can go side to side. You can go up and down as well, forward and back. So this is much better. Took a lot of my sanity. And then when I finally did get it working, I suddenly realized that I hadn't tested it on the client, and then the client didn't work. So then I spent another 3 days. I'm really stupid about doing multiplayer things, apparently. I actually had this all in C++, and then it's all now in Blueprints now, just the boost part, because despite me being pretty sure I did everything exactly the same way, I couldn't get it to replicate in C++, and I decided it didn't matter, so I just put it in Blueprints and left it there. So that is the one part of this project so far that's actually in Blueprints, because it's a lot easier to check the box that says replicates and the drop down that says run on server than it is to use the U functions and do rep lifetime. Apparently, I don't know, everything else seems to work fine, but there you go. Other things is the shield, well, the health was working before, but the shield there is now working. There is a slight in progress, some tweaks to the rifle sound effects. Also, the HUD for the magazine ammo is hooked up, as well as the gun no longer fires after 30. There's no reloading yet, and the reserve ammo isn't hooked up. That is my main goal for next month. Things achieved this month, those little things with the HUD, the boost is the big thing. There's also all the crouch walks are now in here, so got 8 crouch walk animations. There's also a bunch of, we kind of saw them already, but there's a bunch of animations for the boosting, as well as the thruster effects, which might need a bit more polishing at some point, but it's functional at least. So, that's where I'm at. I made this landing pad a bit bigger based on this weird ship thing I made with a Blender add-on generator thing. I don't think I'm actually going to have this in the game, but I'm kind of using it to scale everything, which it might be incredibly stupid to scale things based on something that wouldn't actually be in the game. So I don't know, but because I scaled this up quite a bit, I'm thinking this base maybe needs to be 20% larger. So the final alien modeling has begun on that. I do need to, this is the chaos happening. This is just the animation blueprint that's currently playing the boost animation. I definitely need to make this not the jankiest thing on earth, because right now it's not working perfectly. The actual boosting itself does seem to work properly 100% of the time. It's just sometimes the animations don't match. The particle effects the player actually determined by the animation, so I'll just put anim notifies in the animation themselves to get those to play with the proper one. But see, that's the one for going up, which right now is playing if I'm going left here. The thing that really drove me up the wall with this is so much of UE's stuff is based, it's almost all based on world space and not local space. So the launch character function that I'm using to actually do the boost, all of that works in world space. So when you look straight on the X or Y axis, those values become 0, and then it gets really weird. I have some pretty janky setup in here. I'm probably replicating things that don't even need to be. Well, I know I am, because for some reason I replicated the Y input and not the X input. And at this point, I'm just afraid to touch anything. So it's going to stay this way pretty much till near the end, and I start doing polishing. But yeah, I actually wrote this in C++ first, got it working, and then 2 days later, as I started working on the reloading, I was like, did I ever check the client? And then I did, and then it didn't work. So then I got to go back to this fun adventure for a few days. But yeah, all this is just the boost. I don't have any other, everything else is in the C++. So, but this is just going to stay there because I got it to work and it's fine, and I am not touching it ever again. That's not true. It will need to get polished. The actual distance that you get boosted, I'm sure I'll probably have to adjust once the environment's more done. It is, because you can see it's a little hard to control right now. But you can get up here nice and quick and get up here. Plus, oops, I missed. See, that's the problem. No, down, go down. Thank you. And once there's some giant, massive shards of like meteorites and rocks in the landscape too, it'll, you have things to boost around too. But this is a pretty fun element to the gameplay. I just gotta refine those animations a bit, maybe add a little something to the effect. But I'm happy with how it's going, so yeah, work continues. I really want to get to the point where I start doing the environment, because everything's been looking kind of the same for a while now. But this is pretty cool, so I will make another one of these in a month.